And in this part, I'm gonna make some examples of a component, but in advanced level. Firstly, I select wall and then I want to draw walls, finish face, core face exterior by this way. After that, I will want to create a component. For example, I'm gonna start with caseworks and cabinets since we use them in all of the projects, so they are mostly used in the projects. And we are going through the families. But, as you're concerned, I only want to use families in all of my projects and examples. So, from family. And in this part, as I mentioned before, we use metric casework for creating like cabinets, closets. Here we got multiple caseworks like metric casework wall-based that we talked about the host-based families. As you can see, this is used for the wall-based cabinets. But if you want to place the cabinets on the ground or on the level or on the floors, you can use metric casework instead of metric casework wall-based. I click on metric casework and then I open this template file. Here, as you can see, we got these samples of width and depth in the plan view. Then we can specify these dimensions. Watch this, depth, and this is related to width. And also we got the height as well in the front view. So these are the three essential parameters or parameters of the casework. I have searched for a cabinet, watch this, for its dimensions, and I have selected a simple one, height, width and depth. So here we got the width, that which is going to be 36 and 34 for the height. And let me show you other images. Watch this. 6.75 and other distances and so on. Anyway, just let us model this. First of all, I should say that we got multiple ways for modeling this cabinet, and you should know that this depends on the value of details and your accuracy while modeling. I mean, we can consider this cabinet as a simple box, or you might want to add the doors, the openings, or sometimes you want to model every single detail of the cabinets, even the bolts of the doors. So this depends on the details that you want to use or you want to consider while modeling. But here we want to create a cabinet which got the minimum details. So let us start. Firstly, let us specify the dimensions 24 inches for depth by this way. And then for the height, 34 and half of inch or inches. And then for the width, 36 inches. These are the dimensions for the cabinet. However, we can round the values, but we keep these anyway. And the another point here is that right now here we got the front and back. As you can see, only one of these reference planes or lines are defined as a region. Watch this, they are not pinned. So I want to set the back reference line as the origin. Okay, so watch this. And as I mentioned before, we got the center line as the origin, so I select the back one and then I set it as origin, define origin, and then I pin it like this way. Okay, then let me change the depth 500. Check it out. So it is not moving because of being defined as a region. And then here we got this part, we got a void part, and also the height. So for considering the void part at the bottom, I want to specify the bottom of the cabinet with a reference line like this way, and then I add a dimension by this way. Then I want to set it as 5 centimeters for void, or I can associate it to a parameter. I name the parameter to, for example, bottom distance. Okay, like this way. Then I open the front view using reference line, then adding dimension line and associating these to a new parameter, bottom height, like this way, and OK. Then for the dimension 10 centimeters, I get back to the plan view, and let me see. After doing this, I pick extrusion and then I draw a box like this way right here. However, we can present it solid or only a box, and also we can consider a thickness for it using offset 2 centimeters like this way, and then dimensioning. I lock it. Now it should be 2 centimeters at each sides like this way, and then clicking on finish, opening the 3D view, selecting them, and then I associate it to bottom height like this. Edit height, I rename it. Then I want to create a new parameter. I name it as separator line 1 by this way, and then I set the data type to text in dimensions since I want to use it in dimensions group. And as I mentioned before, I can define dotted line inside the double quotation to separate two groups of dimensions. I move these two parameters downwards, separator bottom height and distance, like this way. Okay. Then I get back to the front view. I want to assign this a name, bottom. Then I want to open the plan view. Watch the continue in the next session.